This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at The Valley, the Old Farm by BlackSheep Modding. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub, and this map is available for all platforms. So this is a oldie but goodie, if you want to say that, from Farm Sim 17 that has now been converted for Farm Sim 19. And I have to say, I put several hours on this in a multiplayer, and I quite enjoyed this map a lot more than I really thought I would when I first started it. So it's going to be kind of a little deja vu and reminiscing, getting to explore this map here in Farm Sim 19. So let's read a little bit of the description. It says, this is a fictional European style map with over 90 fields. Whether reaping crop, breeding animals, or harvesting trees, there is a bounty of tasks to complete and needs to meet. Ancient farm needs a new owner to tend to it. Will you take on the task? Go ahead and jump on in, and we're going to mark up the mods we typically look at when we are doing these videos. I can tell you that if you load this map up with seasons and straw harvest, that it does indeed load up. There's no problems with the map. Just check. I did forget. Pull up the log. Did forget to look beforehand if this map does have the seasons mask. Does indeed have a seasons mask. Go ahead and load on into the map here. And this is our career start point. We're basically at the entrance to the starting farm. Take a look at the PDA here. See that if we look at the lands area, we own this farm here. Includes the chickens, sheep, and cows, and includes a very small field, 62. Also, this is a huge cow pasture that the cows make use of. In fact, they go here under this road, under a bridge. There are also several other farms that you can own, but what you also notice here is all of this green around the border of the map, and this is basically the road, paved road network. That is all owned by the start. That is $471,000. Includes all of town, the shop, and interestingly enough, the BGA. You want to buy the biogas plant? Well, you already own it from the start. If you do start this map in Farm Manager or start from scratch, you don't own sorry about that. You don't own any land at the beginning, and as a result, to have the BGA, you're gonna have to pony up $471,000 to get this big plot of land. Take a look here at field prices. See that most of these fields are bought in sections. Here, 55 and 86, 57, 58 and 59, 72, 3 and 4, 44, 45, 46 and 49, 50 and 51. That's important to note that while some fields, like 1, 3, 4, 5, 13, 16, 15, some of these upper fields are bought individually. As you get further here to the east and to the south, you're going to find these fields are now combined into multiple fields. Also have a huge forest area here, $260,000. Got another forest area here, 172, includes field 54. Another forest area strip here, which includes 90 and 53, $148,000. And a small forestry area over there, $294. $294,000 for that. Whereas this is $260,000. That is smaller than this and more expensive. Okay. And that's even smaller yet and more expensive. Wow. We do have some placeable areas here on the map. So this big square is a placeable area for folks that want to build out a farm. I believe that this may have been a farm in the past. Not sure. Maybe it was just on the map that we played in multiplayer because that was customized a little bit. This here is the pig farm. If we bought the pig farm for $394,000, we would be able to see the pig trigger there. This is an interesting area. This is a placeable cow pasture that you can sell. You own it at the start, but you don't own the land at the start. Kind of an interesting deal there. There is an arable farm right here that includes a big placeable area. Also 47 to 48 for $264,000. This area here is kind of a small farm in town. Includes field 14. Personally, I think there's a bit of an error here. This area, I think, really should have extended here along the road because there is some farm buildings here where you can store vehicles, but it is in the big $471,000 plot of land. So I really would have liked to have seen this stretch out just to here. So it could have included these buildings in field 15 for about $70,000. And we'll take a look at this little section here, $37,000. This is kind of an interesting deal here. There's some buildings here, and then what looks like an active construction area with some excavated ground and some piles of dirt and mud that if you want to build on here, you're going to have to flatten it out. Kind of an interesting concept. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here. So this map does have all of the standard crops available to it. If we take a look at the prices screen, you're going to see that we have 3 main sell points here on the map that accept most of our standard crops. Additionally, we have sell points here that accept some limited crops. Mother Earth is going to accept our fruit crops. We have the spinnery for our cotton and wool. We do have a sell point for eggs, single sell point for milk. We have multiple sell points for hay, straw, grass, and silage since we do own the biogas plant start. Again, that is in new farmer mode that we own that from start. We don't have very much starting equipment here at the beginning of the gameplay, but it is all new and well maintained. So if you do want to sell it, you're going to get optimal prices. While we do start out with the chickens, sheep, and the pigs, the cows, we do not have any animals from the start, and we definitely have contracts available to us. Let's take a look at that starting equipment. Start out with 2 tractors, Fendt Favorite 511C and the John Deere 6135M. Tractors range in horsepower from 115 to 142. We have the Bison Super Z056 as our harvester, including the small grain header for that. Got the old 1978 pickup truck and the Stratoman SEK 802 trailer. We've got the raw Polymag plow and the E830 heater. I was mistaken. I thought we did own that pasture at the start, but it must have been because I had bought land when I was doing a reconnaissance of this map, and then the placeable area came with it. Let's take a look at that placeable area. So if we go to our animal pens, we have a modded cow pasture, holds 100 cows, and is $50,000. Going to be here. There it is, basically in size. Includes the fenced area and everything. And when we do our fly around, we'll take a look at that. I can tell you that if you buy that land and you sell the cow pasture, basically you can plow that up, replant it with grass, do whatever you want with it. It doesn't leave any sort of permanent signs that it was ever there. Definitely clear that out and use it as a regular field. So here on this side of the road, we do have some storage buildings. Put stuff in. Go ahead and find our way into the farmyard. Oh, we don't want to get hit. Then here we have some additional storage. And this is a fun little bit. Go up here. So this is kind of a hayloft. And you can actually drop the fences here. Drop the little security fence so you don't fall off. So you can lower that, and then you can bring up here bales and store bales up here and make it easier to load and unload bales. Various segments here, raise and lower. You may say to yourself, well, if I put bales up here, how do I get bales down? Well, that's because there is a little bridge and a ramp here. And basically, you can bring a skid steer or a small tractor basically up this ramp, over the bridge, and then over to the hayloft. Kind of a cool little area. This is also your silo. So we have the grain dump and grain fill here. So we have a little underpass in order to get to the other part of the farm. Here we have a nice little storage shop area. Then leads us over here to our maintenance and repair customized trigger. There used to be a cool little like map of the map, an image of the PDA here, but that doesn't appear to have come over in the translation. That looks what looks like it's really set up to be the wash bay here. Now this has some trigger markers, but there is no trigger here. I think this is a carryover from 17 version, as are the trigger markers here. There's no trigger here other than to open and close the gate. So I'm not really sure what those markers are for. I think they're just errant carryovers from the previous version. Now we have our farmhouse up here, and this is a farmhouse that we can indeed go into. And if we go into this house, you'll see our sleep trigger will come up. A little bit of a living room here. Little garage. Let's move this out of the way. Kind of cool. Continue on around this way. Lots of storage, lots of opportunities. Put things. Now we have silage bunkers up here built into the hillside. Go ahead and see the trigger pop up for that. So there's the one chaff trigger, another chaff trigger, and we can come up here and walk between these. Is an access road right there to come up, and then we can just store something, you know, whatever our compacting equipment is, or just other stuff right there. And then this is pretty cool. So we have ramps that we can activate. Go up here to this little 38 sign and click. Ramp will rotate up, and now we can basically back a trailer up into here and dump directly into the back of the bunker. Pretty cool. Make our way over here. This is the sheep area. We have our wool. We'll spawn there. Here's our food trough. We have our delivery buy point for our sheep. And then down the hill here, we have our water trough. And again, we activate the animal pen extension mod so we can have help finding the water trough, but also we can see if there is support built into the animal area for the water trough mod. Doesn't appear that there is here, this map, but that's okay because you can just get in here and place that wherever you want. While we're down here, let's take a look at the chicken area. So here is the chicken area. This is where our eggs are going to spawn. Then we have the buy trigger for our chickens. Then we have the food trough for all chickens. This map, or this farm, does include a bit of a placeable area here. We just need to obviously clear out the bushes, clear out the undergrowth. You can put whatever you want here. Really sacrificing any of your farmland. And here is your small field too. That is purchased or owned at the farm. Now you'll see these scattered around the map. And this is just like the other map. Now you see it, now you don't. So Alien Gems maps often have areas where you can cut down a fence post to remove sections of the fence. This map has the BSM 260. Basically, we can click this and watch the fence just vanish. Now there is no fence around this entire field. Okay, click it, and now the fence is back, including gate. Gate can open and close here, but that's pretty cool. So you're going to find that scattered around various places, and basically that's what it does. Can't get rid of the sign, but at least you can get rid of the fence. It does have collisions. Make our way over here to the cow area. This is the large cow pasture. And all of this farm is basically embedded in the map permanently. So regardless what play mode you start out with, we'll have all of this stuff here. Got our buy trigger for our cows. Have our milk trigger. And here we have the food trough and brawl trigger. Manure spawn point. On the front of the building here we have our slurry pit. Our slurry trigger. And then our water trough is actually way down here in the pasture. Yeah, the water trough. And like I said, this whole area, including under the bridge, and this all, there's our cow, all is our pasture. Once again, we've got one of these. That was a sign. Thought that was one of these get rid of the fence signs. Alright, so that is kind of the main farm. Now what we're going to do is get set up for a fly around. And we'll do a bit of a fly around. We'll end at the shop, buy the Mahindra, and then drive to all of the sell points. Get an overall overview of the main farm here. That is basically the main farm and field 62 right there. See the lay of the land and the fields. Map is rather hilly, so you're going to want to have plenty of good horsepower when it comes time to drive around and deliver your crops. Most of this lower part of the map is either forest or farmland. See the size now of that placeable area. I really do encourage, we're not going to spend time doing this in the video, but I really do encourage you to drive around through this forest, through all of the forests on the map. BlackSheep modding, in my opinion, does a really good job with basically doing forests, have undulating areas to them, winding pathways, and everything. Really, really nice feeling forest work that they do. Lots of clearings for folks that want to do big, large-scale forestry. Kind of set up and drag trees, cut trees up, chip trees, whatever. Down here we have one of the little towns. Here we have the spinnery. Sell point. And then one of our other grain sell points right there. This is one of the placeable areas that I said that you can buy. Start making a farm there if you want. Go ahead and cut across this and we'll take a look, kind of an aerial view of the pig farm. Pig farm includes field 93 and 56. 6 is right here. 93 is just that grass area north of the pig farm. We're going to take a closer look here at the pig farm when we drive around. Have our sawmill down here. And this area here is part of the land that we own. Two kind of placeable areas here just outside the sawmill. Or that $470,000 kind of public land that we own. The log cell trigger, and then our wood chip cell trigger back here by this by the dozer and tractor. Some of our bigger fields are over here next to the BGA. And the BGA, I think, is really set up pretty cool. I like how this is set up. So there's 4 bunkers here. 2 of the bunkers have this shared common wall. Got our digestate pipe right there. Digester. How do we get in and out of this? This has been redesigned a bit from how it looked in 19 or in 17. Our BGA. Another one of our sell points over here. AgriLife. And this right here, this is what I said was kind of one of those little in-town farm. So this is little in-town farm. Storage buildings here. And it's also associated with field 14 right behind it. Right next to that is a sell point. Shop kind of behind that. And then this is that interesting little area that I said was kind of a construction site. This is buyable land. You could buy this for $37,000, I think, and basically fill this in, flatten the land, repaint it, and then basically be able to place whatever you wanted. I think that was a pretty cool concept. It's not associated with any land, but it does also include, I believe, these buildings right here to the right of this little access road. And this is the area that I felt was mismarked on the buyable land. So right here, this is basically a little bit of a farm. Okay, you could basically have a little farm here if you wanted to. But if you look here where our cursor is, go to lands, we are in the green. We're in the area we already own. whereas field 15 is just $72,000. So that should not be $72,000, that little parcel right there, especially if this parcel right here is 37. So in my opinion, it was mismarked when they were laying out the lands area. Hopefully that might be fixed in an update. That, again, is just kind of my view, how I think things should have been laid out. Over here we have kind of an arable farm. And when I played on the multiplayer server, this is where I set up shop. Been redesigned a bit since 17. Some buildings here, vehicle storage, kind of a big placeable area back here you can clean up, and fields back here. I believe field 48 is the only field associated. 48 and 47 are the only areas associated with that land. Got another sell point there. And then let's go over here, and this is going to be that little open pasture that I talked about here on field 22. If you buy 22, you get this cow pasture with it. Or $20,000. So let's go ahead and get some money in the bank. And let's buy this. And now you can see that we own it. We can go here to the garage. And you can see now we have the cow pasture. If we sold the cow pasture, basically this would all, the fenced area in would all go away. The grass would go away. Triggers, the gate, all of that. And you'd basically be left with grass that you could then plant. Further plant this grass so then you could fertilize it. Or you could do whatever you really wanted with this. Let's go ahead and just buy a cow. Let's get a black and white cow. We can tell the difference. So do note that unlike cow pasture at the main farm that outputs manure, slurry, and milk, this cow pasture doesn't output anything. This is going to be for beef. It's going to be a beef cattle area. Has your normal feed requirements, your water requirement, no straw, and as a result, they poop in the ground, and it's basically absorbed. There's no collection of that. There's also no collection point milk. A milker here. If you don't want it, you can sell it, and then basically make use of that land however you feel you should. And then basically that is that right there. That is the starting farm. So let's go ahead and get back over here to the shop and start our drive around. Now we're at the shop. You can see we have our shop trigger around front. And if it's just like it was in 17, it'll be the maintenance trigger, buy, sell, around here to the side. Yep, there it is indeed. Go ahead and get our Mahindra. And we're going to find that spawn here around back. Check this. Pretty sure I checked this. Yeah. I saw those green sheds there, and I thought, oh, I wonder if you can buy those and place them. You can. All right, so there's a lot going on down here in town. So before we really look at that, let's head over to the biogas plant and the agro life sell point. And let's do a little in-cab driving so you can get a little bit of a sense for how steep some of these roads are. road here in particular going up to the BGA is quite steep. Oh, take a look at that. Like I said, you're going to want some high horsepower to get up over some of these hills, navigate the roads. We have AgriLife. Went through the scale. Looks like the scale's working. Around to the dump station. And then we get scale weight on our way out. We know exactly how much we delivered. An exit for the BGA, but what? I'm going to come in the exit and leave the entrance. I'm a rebel. Scale here once again as we leave. Know how much material we dropped off. Four bunkers. I like these Jersey barriers being put up kind of around this area. Kind of cool. We have our digester, our slurry, or not our slurry, but our digestate trigger there. Then our entrance, in our entrance scale, we know what we weighed, dropping our load off. Really well done. Let me know in the comments if you played this map in 17, were you eagerly awaiting it in 19? Were you hoping it was converted in 19, and now that it's here, are you going to play it in 19? This is that kind of in-town farm. Not huge. So, you know, you're not going to run the whole map out of here. But it is a decent little area. The perfect map for multiplayer. I think I counted 5 farms and then maybe 2 or 3 buildable areas. Here is our sell point for milk. Here we have a grain sell point. But they've used the dump station from trains. On the other side of the road, we have our fuel trigger for the map. Down there. Swing around. Everything in town here is kind of close together. Roads can sometimes be a little bit confusing to navigate. Probably going to be our egg sell point. Oh no. One more street down. One more street down, guys. Here is our bale sell point. And here we have Mother Earth for our root crop sales. There. Head on over to the animal dealer. I always thought it was interesting. Why are we buying animals at what clearly looks like a slaughterhouse? Right? I mean, I'm not really sure why I think it could possibly be a slaughterhouse. Buying the animals they don't want to slaughter. Have our animal trigger. Of course, since we already own some animal pens, those are coming up. Really nice roads, just kind of, sometimes maps like this, really you just want to drive around and just look and enjoy the virtual sights. Imagine this as being a real area. When a map can really pull off feeling legit, like this could be a legit place. That's what makes a good map. I'd be curious to know, what do you guys think? I think that's good criteria for what makes a good map is if when you're in the space, if you can feel a little bit like, you know what? Feels legit. Be real. Part of that for me is the ebb and flow of the fields, curves of the roads. Not flat. The roads aren't all flat. Here you have that one arable area, and this has been reworked quite a bit from 17. Still is a viable arable farm. A lot more storage here than we had in the 17 arable farm area. We've got this big placeable area that this little road kind of splits. Two fields. We're going to take this road around here to this sell point. At this point we are here on the edge of the the edge of the map. Cool little construction area here. I don't know if this is viable land or if it's one that on that land you already own. So this is also a viable area, $32,000. Like I said, you come in here, you could buy this, and then you could basically do landscaping if you wanted. Here we are. And basically go to sculpting, flatten. Oh, we can't. Really? Can't flatten this. Oh, that is awful. Because that is... Oh. Bring it up a little bit. Because I wanted to demonstrate that. Over here, let's buy this. Okay. And let's go to here. Here we are. So we can flatten this whole area if we wanted. For the mounds. Right. And now if we jumped up here. And now we have a viable placeful area. For just a few bucks. After we bought it and then leveled all the ground out. But that really stinks. You can't do that here because this is a model that is placed. That is, quite frankly, disappointing. If I do say so myself, which I do. That's what I do here. Make opinionated statements. Right now we're going to take a kind of a country road across here to get to the pig farm. This road will loop us back around to the start farm. And what the hey, let's do this in cab. So you kind of get a little bit of a through the woods to grandma's house we go experience. You really experience this forest. Like I said, BlackSheep modding I think does a really good job with modeling up forests. Oops. Plenty of trees in these forests to keep a farmer busy over a long, cold winter. Here we have the pig area. And we're going to need to buy that. Once we buy it, we can activate the gate. Storage over here. Shed. Additional storage up here. Bit of a placeable area where you could put another building, put a silo, whatever you want. Then we have our pig area. Here we have the brawl trigger here. Gonna be your food trough. Jump that. Yeah. Gonna be your drop off for your Piggly Wigglies. The water trough is inside here. These buildings are starting to show their age. As far as the textures go when you get up close. So, in my opinion, if there is a Farm Sim 21, 22, whatever it's called, next version of Farm Sim, these buildings are definitely going to look out of place. Getting quite close to that right now. Have our slurry pit. Quite a big pig area. And our manure pile. Let's make our way down here to the sawmill. And we kind of have two areas here on either side that can be used for placing buildings. Sawmill entry point. Be an area to be selling our logs. Wood chip. Sell point. Then we have a convenient way out. Again, we have scales coming in, scales going out. Really like that setup. So, you know, if you're role playing that you're selling logs by the pound, by the ton, whatever. You got scales there. If you're pretending that you're selling wood chips, then you need to know how much, basically, how much wood chips you dropped off by poundage, by weight, by being able to be weighed both full and empty. We're going to get that done. I'm going to have quite a little drive here. Get over to spinnery in the last sell point. Kind of zoom out a bit and kind of get a little feel for the road, surroundings. Would have been nice to have seen the map edge extend on a lot more, you know, more details further on than just that. That looks a little. Lots of maps that have done a much better job with map boundaries. And we've got that large placeable area over here. Our grain sell point in this bay here. And in our spinnery, one block over, I guess. Little construction area there. Come through here. Spin around to get to our spinnery. So guys, there you go. That is it. That is the Valley of the Old Farm. Again, by BlackSheep Modding. Let me know what you think of the map in the comments. Map you played in 17. This map you're going to play again in 19, or is this the first time seeing the map, and if so, what do you think? Until next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.